Hey friends, my name is Paula and this is Relatively Refined. On this channel, my sister Patty and I hope to inspire you to make your life beautiful on a budget. Patty's last video was a pre-loved and consignment item tour of her dining room. She pointed out all of the beautiful things that she has collected through thrifting, consignment store finds, and hand-me-downs in her dining room. Today I'm going to do the same but in my kitchen. So we'll take you around the kitchen and I will point out to you all of the beautiful items that I have found at thrift stores, mainly thrift stores, consignment stores, or have been gifted to me by friends and family. I hope you enjoy. If you like videos like this, if you enjoy thrifting, making your life beautiful on a budget, all things home and family, please subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out. Give us a thumbs up, like us, and share with your friends. All right, let's get this tour started. All right, so here is a view of my kitchen as you come into it from the entryway hallway. It is actually a really great kitchen. It's very spacious. It has quite a bit of counter and cupboard space. So I really love this kitchen. Let me start our tour over in this corner. I'll swing you around here. And this is my coffee area. The kids have their own coffee area, but this is our coffee area right here. And I have hauled all of the items on here, I believe in videos earlier on the channel. So I will link those in the iCards and down in the description box. Over here in this mushroom canister, I keep my coffee. This canister I found at a thrift store, and it is from Sears and Roebuck. It is the Mary Mushroom canister. I think it's from the late 70s, maybe early 1980s. There were two of them. I think probably there was originally a set of 4, but I only found 2. This one and one that's a little smaller. Over here, I thrifted this little green and white creamer, and it holds all of my teaspoons, silver plated and sterling silver ones that I have thrifted as well, with the exception of this spoon right here. This was my spouse's grandmother's spoon, so that's a special spoon, and that goes right in the front. That rests on top of these Johnson Brothers butter pat plates, which I have hauled before in a video. I got these, I got maybe a dozen or so of them, and I've used them for all kinds of things. But I used them over here to put my spoon on after I stir my coffee. Moving over here, we have this little cream and sugar set. This is Noritake, and I got this at a thrift store, and I just love the delicate little leaf pattern that it has. I think it's so dainty and pretty. In the back is a tin that I thrifted, and it holds tea bags. I love the little cottage feel of that tin. I think it is so cute. And then back in the corner is a mason jar holding some Bakelite knives, and those knives were a gift from my mom. We were antiquing together, and I walked into the booth and I said to her, oh gosh, I look at those knives every time I come into this booth. And the owner of the booth happened to be there, and she said, well, would you like to get a deal on them? So we did, and Mom gave those to me for Christmas. This is the kids' coffee area. They got that fancy coffee maker or I guess espresso maker for Christmas. But there are a few thrifted items. This butter dish I thrifted for $1. It is clear glass, and it is in the Wexford pattern, which I love. It has so many little facets that when the sun or the light hits it, it's super sparkly. I love that. Then over here is a tin that I keep more tea in. I think I thrifted that for about 25 cents or so. And way back in that corner, you can barely see it, is a little basket I thrifted, and that has honey and coffee syrups and things like that. Here is my pantry door as we swing around. My spring apron, which I finally put out. I really need to do a spring refresh, which I will video for you. Here in the corner is a vintage spice rack. This is also a gift from my mom. These little shakers pull out. It has some teacher tacky on there because she actually bought that in Vermont, and she put that tacky stuff on there to keep those from falling out, and then wrapped it all up and flew it down here to South Carolina to give to me as a gift, and I love it. This little double trinket dish I found at Habitat for Humanity for $1. And this is a salt shaker. It was a salt and pepper shaker. There were 2 of them. And it's really cool. It opens like that. And this was belonged to my spouse's grandfather. As I said, there were a pair, but I unfortunately dropped and broke the other one. So that holds our chia seeds. Moving along, I have a cookbook and a cutting board. This little white platter is not vintage, it's actually new. It is a gift from my mother, and it is by a woman by the name of Nora Fleming. And the little bird's nest right there is called a charm, and you can change that out for different things. And I have different seasonal items that I put there. So I'll have a beach ball for summertime. I had a gingerbread house at Christmas. It's such a fun little way to add just a little touch of whatever seasonal decor you want. This is a jar full of cookie cutters, some of which were hand-me-downs, some of which I found at thrift stores. I don't think I've bought any of those new. They were all either hand-me-downs or thrift store finds. And then over here in this crock, it is full of wooden spoons and other wooden items and my rolling pins. This green-handled rolling pin was my latest thrift store find. I think it was only $3 or $4. I love it. Over here on the back of my stove is a tray. This is a Currier and Ives picture on it, and this is spring. I have a tray for each of the 4 seasons, and I swap them out depending on the season. So, excuse me. This is the spring one. And Currier and Ives were actually a printing company. I used to think that maybe they were the artists, but they were the printing company, and they did hire out other artists to do their lithographs. They merely printed them, and I love them. To me, they're quintessentially New England. Over here, I've hauled this before in a video. This is a little match holder. I don't have matches in it, but I do have my copper measuring spoons. I got those measuring spoons from a store in town called the French Mercantile. Oh my gosh, they have beautiful things there. I'll have to maybe see if I can film in there one day and give you a tour. These are vintage cookbooks that I've found at Goodwill. I found that little refrigerator dish that has garlic in it. I got that at a yard sale one day, a long time ago, probably, oh gosh, 20 years ago. I also thrifted those wooden trivets. And then this beautiful ironstone platter I thrifted for $1. And it is from England. It's made by the Mason Company. And actually, I was reading about ironstone, and Miles Mason patented ironstone in 1813. So he was, excuse me, he was one of the first to produce it in England. And I just love the flowers on that. I think it's so beautiful. And that thing is heavy. Ironstone is aptly named. This twine holder is also from the French Mercantile. It's so cute. These scissors fit right in the top there, and you can snip your twine if you need it to tie up herbs for a stew or a soup or truss up a turkey or whatever. I just thought it was adorable. Now we're going to swing around. That, as I said, is our dining area. Over here on this part of the counter is a beautifully large wicker basket that hides a multitude of sins. That is how I corral all of the miscellaneous paperwork that comes into the house and that I don't know what to do with, but I know that I'm going to need it. So I put it in there, and you really can't see it. Keeps it out of sight. This copper and wood basket that I have my potatoes in was a thrift store find, as was this beautiful marble cheese plate with a glass cloche. I'm going to somehow use that on my spring decor, I think. This white pitcher with these gorgeous roses that I got at the grocery store was a thrift store find. Up here, this beautiful picture here, this is, it's either grace or gratitude. There's one of an older woman and then one of this older gentleman, and one is grace and one is gratitude, and I can't remember which is which, but I got that at a yard sale. And then over here on the other side of the flowers, you can't really see very well, but this is also another spice rack, excuse me. And I got that at a local antique store. Actually, the same antique store that I got another item that I will show you in just a minute. This cake stand, the wooden base is from Walmart. It's from the Better Homes and Gardens line, but the glass cake plate with the dome is from Goodwill. And if you can believe it, that thing is super duper heavy, and I paid maybe $4, I think. I think it was $4 for that. Over here is my wide mouth frog sponge holder. He was a consignment store find. I think he is so cute. And then I'm going to complete the tour of the kitchen by coming around here. This is where we actually started it, looking the other direction. This adorable red step stool is something that I picked up at the same antique store that I got the other spice rack for, a local antique store here in our area. And it reminded me so much of one that my grandmother had that I had to get it. So we have made full circle in the kitchen, and I will pan you back around one last time so you can see that it really is possible to gather a whole host of items very reasonably that you can use on a regular basis. Thrift store items are useful. You save them from the landfill. They're beautiful, and usually they're of really good quality because if it's vintage or several years old, it's lasted. And you cannot beat that. Spending a couple bucks on something that's going to be useful and beautiful, I'm all about that. Thank you so much for sticking with it till the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Hey, I just wanted to hop back on and say thank you so much for watching our channel. I hope you will consider subscribing if you haven't already. Also, our third sister, Kathy, posted a video. She did a tour of her vintage bar cart, so please check that out. I will leave that video linked as well. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.